Happy perfect week of our lesson series. That's right. It's week 7, the most holy of numbers. We're in the middle of a lesson series called Can I Ask That? We've asked some hard questions this semester. Questions like, does the Bible contradict itself? Does God discriminate against women? Can you be a Christian and believe in evolution? Not to mention all the side questions that come along with these conversations. This week we've got another kicker. It's almost like they just keep getting harder. Oops. Anyway, this week's question, here you have it. Does God endorse violence?
Tick, tick, boom. Who bringing the noise? Go baby, we bringing out toys. Separate men from the boys. Chopper be singing, she'll be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I've definitely heard God get called out for this one before. I've told you before, but most of my friends in high school didn't really like God. The Old Testament violence was one of the reasons, and honestly, I've wondered about this one myself. I mean, listen to this passage. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households and all the men of Korah with all of their goods. God did that. Or how about this one? Now go, attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men, women, children, infants, cattle, sheep, camels, and donkeys. Okay, one more. Then Elijah commanded them, seize the prophets of Baal. Do not let any get away. They seized them, and Elijah had them brought down to the Kishon Valley and slaughtered them there. The Bible has been described as the bloodiest book ever written. And the thing is, that very well might be true. As kids, we hear this really cute Bible stories about how God saved all these cute animals by putting them on Noah's Ark 2 by 2, or how Moses opened the whole dang Red Sea for Israel to walk through, or how these 3 guys with funny names refused to worship a giant chocolate bunny, and God protected them. But what about all those other animals or children that drowned in the flood? Or the plagues that weren't really just annoying like frogs, but the death of the firstborn male, both human and animal? Or the fact that God allowed his people to be taken captive into this nation where we find this story about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to begin with. Then he punished the nation that took them captive? It's not wrong to think that there is violence in the Bible. There's plenty of it. I was going to count out how many battles are described or wars are depicted in Scripture, but how about I just show you all the verses that depict them? That's a whole lot of war. We like to talk about the God who is loving and caring and gentle and gracious a lot. And we forget that God is justice. He's powerful. He's jealous. So what are we supposed to do with all of this? I thought Jesus told us that we're supposed to turn the other cheek. How are we supposed to follow that lesson when we see God in the midst of all this violence? I know your gut reaction might be to find an easy answer of, well, God is God and he can do what he wants. He was probably right in all these situations. While that's true, I want to talk about this. Why or how can we find a Jesus so gentle and calm in the New Testament and such a violent God in the Old? How is it that they are the same God? What does all the wars, punishments, battles teach us about who God is? The way we understand what we know about God, that changes how we worship him. That changes how we understand him, and it for sure changes the way we attempt to emulate his character. So let's challenge ourselves to ask these challenging questions. Let's encourage one another to examine our perspectives. Let's ask that hard question together. Does God endorse violence?